How China makes millions with the guinea fowl. Imagine there is a loud, nervous bird with speckled feathers and a wild stare. A bird that, at first glance, nobody would take seriously. Well, China took that crazy guinea fowl, organized it, turned it into an industrial system, and today it makes millions from it. While most of the world remains obsessed with chicken and pork, the Chinese are turning the guinea fowl into premium meat, high nutritional value eggs, and a business model that blends countryside tradition, biotechnology, and international exports. In this video, you are going to discover step by step how that money-making machine works and what we can learn from it. It is the guinea fowl. China produces more than 50 million of these birds a year, a business that supposedly has rewritten the rules of the game. But how much of this is actually true? And what if I told you the real story is even more interesting and contains secrets that could change the way we see food production? Stay with me, because we are going to uncover what is myth and what is reality in this supposed Chinese master plan. Welcome to a journey into the heart of one of the quietest agricultural revolutions of our time. Today, we are going to set aside the poultry giants we all know. Forget industrial chicken and turkey, and focus your attention on a bird of African origin, with plumage that looks like a starry sky and an economic potential that, according to the story, has been exploited masterfully. We are talking about the guinea fowl, also called the speckled hen, known to scientists as Numida melea gris. For many people, it is an exotic bird, almost ornamental, famous for that distinctive cry that echoes across the countryside. But for a growing number of farmers, it is the center of an incredibly promising business model. Although the idea that China controls 94% of the world market through massive production is an exaggeration that does not hold up with verifiable data, the reality is that interest in this bird is growing. The true historical leaders in commercial guinea fowl farming have been European countries like France and Italy. So where does this fascination come from? In this video, we are going to dive into the world of guinea fowl farming. We are not going to stay on the surface. We will analyze the potential business model that could turn this bird into a star. We will break down the investment, the costs, the technologies, and the processes that would be needed for a large-scale operation. We will explore why its meat is considered top quality, surpassing chicken in protein and iron, and how its eggs have earned a place in the gourmet market. We will also ask a key question: is this a sustainable model? We will analyze the environmental impact of theoretical mega farms and compare it with the benefits the guinea fowl already offers in smaller systems, where it acts as a walking natural pesticide. This is not just a video about a bird. It is an investigation into strategy, potential, and the long-term vision that would be needed to dominate a global niche market. So get ready, because the secrets behind the potential of the guinea fowl industry are about to be revealed. Section 1. The problem with the cackling. The silent crisis of traditional poultry farming. To understand why the guinea fowl is such an interesting opportunity, we first have to take a critical look at the industry that dominates our tables: the chicken industry. For decades, chicken has been the king of proteins. Its production has been optimized to incredible limits, achieving extremely fast growth at low cost, making it accessible to billions. But this model of extreme efficiency has a price, and today it faces challenges that make it increasingly vulnerable. The first major problem is market saturation. The chicken industry is a red ocean of brutal competition. A few giant corporations control almost everything, from genetics to the supermarket, leaving crumbs for small and medium farmers. These producers often get trapped in a spiral of low prices, feed and energy costs that keep rising, and debt that piles up just to avoid falling behind. Competing there is, for many, a losing battle. Second, and this is even more worrying for our food security, is health fragility. Intensive chicken farming means keeping thousands of birds, genetically identical, in enclosed spaces. It is efficient, yes, but it is also the perfect environment for diseases to spread like wildfire. The threat of avian flu is a sword constantly hanging over the industry. A single outbreak can force the culling of millions of birds and shut down export borders overnight, causing devastating losses. To fight this, the use of antibiotics has become routine, which has fueled another global crisis: antibiotic resistance, one of the greatest threats to humanity, according to the World Health Organization. The third pillar of this crisis is environmental impact. Industrial poultry farming leaves a considerable ecological footprint. It requires enormous quantities of soy and corn for feed, crops associated with deforestation, and the massive use of water and agrochemicals. And waste management is a constant headache. Huge volumes of manure can contaminate groundwater and release greenhouse gases into the atmosphere. Finally, there is the consumer. People no longer only want cheap food. Now they want it to be healthy, ethical, and sustainable. There is growing distrust toward industrial products, the use of hormones and antibiotics, and the conditions in which animals live. Informed consumers are willing to pay more for lean meats, raised in a more natural way, and backed by a transparent story. They want clean proteins, and industrial chicken, despite everything, does not always fit that description. In short, the chicken industry, despite its success, is at a crossroads. Economic pressure, health risks, environmental cost, and new consumer demands are opening cracks in its foundations. And it is precisely in those cracks where opportunity is born. The opportunity for a bird that seems designed to solve many of these problems. A resilient, efficient bird that produces meat and eggs of superior quality. It is time to properly introduce our protagonist, the guinea fowl. Section 2. The guinea fowl, the perfect biological machine. Before anyone talked about it as a possible pillar of agro-industry, the guinea fowl was already a marvel of evolution. Native to the savannas of Africa, this bird is a monument to survival. Its biology and behavior, forged on a continent of extremes, are exactly what makes it so valuable today. Physically, it is unmistakable. Its robust body is covered in dense dark gray plumage, sprinkled with thousands of white dots, as if it wears a starry sky on its back. Its bare head, with blue and red tones and a bony helmet-like crest, sets it apart from any chicken. But its appearance is only the beginning. Its most impressive trait is its incredible hardiness. Unlike broiler chickens, which are genetically delicate, the guinea fowl is built to endure. It adapts to almost any climate, from scorching heat to colder temperatures, and it thrives at different altitudes. This natural resistance means it is less prone to many of the diseases that devastate chicken farms. They are not immortal, and they still need care, but their dependence on antibiotics is far lower, which translates into a cleaner and more natural final product. Another of its superpowers is its diet. The guinea fowl is a tireless forager and an omnivore. While a farm chicken depends 100% on feed, this bird can obtain a large portion of its food on its own. It devours insects, ticks, larvae, snails, and even small snakes, as well as weed seeds. That turns it into a walking pest control system. In integrated farms, its presence can drastically reduce the need for pesticides, protecting crops and fostering a healthier ecosystem. That foraging instinct also improves the quality of its meat. Because it is far more active, its meat is darker, extremely lean, and has a firmer texture. Its flavor is richer and more complex, often compared to pheasant. Nutritionally, it is a powerhouse. Some analyses suggest it contains more protein and significantly higher levels of iron than chicken. It is low in fat and cholesterol, positioning it as an ideal food for health-conscious consumers. Its eggs are also unique. They are smaller than chicken eggs, with a speckled shell that is extremely hard. This thick shell is an evolutionary advantage that protects them from bacteria and gives them an incredibly long shelf life. Nutritionally, they are concentrated little gems, rich in vitamins and antioxidants. And then there is its behavior. These are social birds that move in flocks and have a highly developed vigilance instinct. Their famous sharp cry is not just noise, it is a highly effective biological alarm. They alert to any intruder, whether it is a person, a dog, a fox, or a snake, functioning as natural guardians for the rest of the farm animals. In essence, the guinea fowl is a multifunctional biological machine. It is resilient, it controls pests, it produces gourmet meat and eggs, and it also keeps watch. These characteristics are what have made some people see enormous potential in it, imagining how this humble African guardian could transform into a pillar of modern agro-industry. Section 3. The Potential Master Plan. Industrializing a Wild Bird. This is where the story moves from biology to large-scale business strategy. Although, as we have already said, China does not dominate the global guinea fowl market, and that title belongs more to countries like France and Italy. China's agricultural development model still serves as a perfect blueprint for imagining how this bird could be industrialized and turned into a multi-million-dollar income source. Part 1. Conquering Scale. The numbers cited in some corners of the internet, such as a Chinese production of over 50 million guinea fowl, are shocking, but difficult to verify and likely mix guinea fowl production with goose production, which is massive in the country. The reality is that global guinea fowl production is much more modest. However, the potential is there. If a country strategically decided to bet on this bird by observing the weaknesses of chicken and the strengths of the guinea fowl, it could build an industry from scratch by investing in genetics, research, and above all, infrastructure. Part 2. The Business Model. From Investment to Profit. A success model would be based on replicability and scalability, blending tradition with technology. A. Investment and profitability. Although it requires capital, the risk could be lower than in other livestock operations. Some estimates suggest that setting up an operation for 1,000 birds could cost around $9,000 to $10,000, covering chicks, feed, and incubators. The production cycle is short, about 12 to 14 weeks, to reach market weight of roughly 1.2 to 1.6 kilograms. Some optimistic projections talk about recovering the investment in just a few months, but let's be realistic. Profitability depends on feed cost, mortality rate, and most importantly, having a market willing to pay a premium. The key to making this hypothetical model work is selling the meat at a premium price, as already happens in gourmet markets where it can cost significantly more than standard chicken. B. Breeding technology. This is where industrialization would make the difference. The goal would be to apply mass production principles to a semi-wild bird. Artificial incubation would be essential, because guinea fowl are not the best mothers and often abandon their nests. To guarantee consistent production, industrial incubators would be needed. These machines control temperature and humidity during the 26 to 28 days of incubation, achieving consistent hatch rates that someplace between 70 and 85%, far above what would be achieved naturally. After hatching, the keets would be moved into brooding houses with controlled temperatures. Housing would likely be semi-open structures that protect from weather but allow strong ventilation to prevent disease. Even if raised at higher densities, they would be given more space than industrial chickens, and the semi-free range approach would allow them to go out to forage. That not only improves welfare, it also helps them supplement their diet and reduce feed costs. Feeding would be a calculated mix. The base would still be a corn-based feed, but the key to lowering costs would be leveraging the bird's ability to forage. Using vegetables and agricultural byproducts could reduce dependence on commercial feed by as much as 30%. And finally, processing would be where efficiency becomes real money. The birds would be taken to modern automated processing plants for slaughter, plucking, cleaning, and packaging. This level of industrialization is what would make it possible to process millions of birds a year while maintaining consistent export-grade quality. Part 3. Conquering markets. The real genius of a plan like this would not be producing in mass alone, but creating high-value markets. Domestically, the meat would be positioned as a healthy, gourmet product. Internationally, it would target countries with demand for exotic and luxury foods, such as Singapore or the United Arab Emirates. In those markets, the meat would sell at premium prices, reaching segments that conventional chicken can only dream of. In the end, this hypothetical master plan forms a virtuous circle. You select a bird with superior traits, apply technology to scale production, minimize costs, and capture premium markets. It is not only agriculture, it is a masterclass in economic strategy. Section 4. The Global Echo. Can this model be replicated? The idea of such a successful model raises an inevitable question. Can this be copied and pasted elsewhere? The answer is complicated. Direct replication of a large-scale industrial model faces enormous challenges, but the principles behind this potential success offer valuable lessons for everyone. The obstacles to industrial-scale replication. Trying to build a multi-million bird industry from scratch runs into major barriers. The biggest barrier is demand. In most Western and Latin American countries, guinea fowl remains a niche product. The average consumer does not know it, does not know how to cook it, and will not actively look for it in the supermarket. Creating that demand from zero would require a massive investment in marketing and education, and would take years. The second barrier is processing infrastructure. Industrial scale requires automated processing plants that cost millions. Nobody invests in that without guaranteed volume. It is the classic chicken and egg problem. Without plants, there is no large-scale production, and without production, there are no plants. The third barrier is regulatory and cultural. Every country has its own health and environmental rules, and there are cultural issues too. The famous guinea fowl scream could create conflict with neighbors in populated rural areas, and that is not a small detail. Lessons and adaptations. Potential at other scales. Despite these challenges, ignoring the guinea fowl's potential would be a mistake. Instead of copying a massive industrial model that largely does not exist, the global future of this bird will likely come from adapting its principles to smaller, diversified models. In agroecological systems, guinea fowl truly shines. For small and medium farms, especially organic or regenerative operations, this bird is a tool. Its pest control ability reduces chemical use, lowers costs, and improves ecosystem health. In this model, the birds are not confined. They are integrated into vineyards, orchards, gardens, and pastures. The final product, pasture-raised meat or eggs, can sell at a very high price to local customers who value sustainability. Another path is gourmet niche markets. Instead of chasing volume, entrepreneurs can target ultra-luxury segments by working with high-end chefs, telling the bird's story, and positioning its meat as a superior alternative to other game-like meats. And finally, there is resilience and food security. The guinea fowl's hardiness makes it a key element for building food systems that are more resilient to climate change and disease, especially in rural communities. Introducing these birds can strengthen local food security without relying on expensive industrial infrastructure. In conclusion, we probably will not see another guinea fowl giant appear overnight, but the interest around this bird delivers a powerful reminder. There is immense value in forgotten species, and diversification is a smart strategy. The legacy of this Chinese model may not be a line of mega farms, but thousands of innovative farmers who learned the lesson. Nature, properly understood, can be the foundation of the most profitable business of all. We have traveled from the African savannas to the possible mega farms of Asia, uncovering the potential that could turn the guinea fowl into an agricultural superstar. But this story is still being written. Do you think this model is the future of poultry farming? Did you know the potential of this incredible bird? We would love to read what you think in the comments. Are there guinea fowl farming experiences in your country? Share your stories. Your perspective adds value to the whole community. And if this deep analysis of hidden strategies in agro-industry fascinated you, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Hit like if you learned something new, and share it with someone who needs to see beyond the same old chicken. In the end, the story of the guinea fowl and China is more a case study about potential than about a finished reality. It is a lesson about vision, strategy, and the bold exploration of an opportunity most of the world has overlooked. We have seen how traditional poultry faces enormous challenges, creating the perfect vacuum for an unexpected contender. The idea of industrializing a bird with exceptional hardiness, a flexible diet, and superior quality meat is brilliant. Applying incubation technology, efficient rearing systems, and automated processing to achieve large-scale production is, on paper, a master plan. The strategy of creating domestic demand for a gourmet product while also targeting luxury export niches is the culmination of that vision. This model, in its full form, may not be universally replicable. However, the principles behind it are a roadmap for anyone who wants to innovate. It teaches us to look beyond the conventional, to recognize the value of biodiversity, and to combine nature's wisdom with the efficiency of technology. The guinea fowl reminds us that, on the great chessboard of global food production, there are still strategic moves to make and treasures to discover. Maybe the most important question is not whether someone will raise 50 million guinea fowl, but what other guinea fowls, what other species, crops, or forgotten systems are waiting for a bold vision to turn them into the next silent revolution. The future of our food may depend on finding that answer,